Imagine being trapped inside a tiny car, surrounded by a horde of the undead, with no food, no water, and no escape. But the real danger isn't the monsters scratching at the windows, it's the psychological breakdown happening inside. In a world where silence is the only way to survive, one wrong move forces a man to make the ultimate sacrifice, saving his own life or killing his best friend. The film begins after a zombie pandemic has swept across the globe. Humanity is all but extinct, leaving only a tiny fraction of survivors fighting for every breath. We are introduced to Ben and his friend Mickey, two former teammates wandering through desolate streets and dense forests. Their daily existence is grim, scavenging for any scrap of food or drop of water they can find, while constantly fending off the undead that seem to appear out of nowhere. From the start, the contrast between them is clear. Ben has adapted to this harsh new reality. He is alert, pragmatic, and quick to react. Mickey, however, is different. He refuses to accept the world as it is. He disconnects from the horror by wearing headphones and blasting music, trying to live in a bubble of the past. Their journey takes them through various abandoned houses. They breach the doors, but the homes are always empty of people. If a zombie happens to be lurking inside, it's always Ben who steps up to kill it. Mickey simply doesn't have the courage or the stomach for violence. While they move through these ghost towns, they pack their bags with supplies and spend their nights sleeping on the hard asphalt of the road. The world after the collapse is portrayed as incredibly dull and repetitive, yet Ben and Mickey try to find small moments to appreciate the nature around them. One day, while trekking through a forest road, they spot a station wagon parked ahead. Hope flares up. Ben draws his pistol and approaches the vehicle cautiously. He is shocked to find a woman sitting in the driver's seat, but she isn't alive. She has turned. As she snarls and tries to lunge at them, Ben doesn't hesitate. He fires, killing her instantly. He drags the body out and tries the ignition. Luck is on their side. The engine roars to life. The joy is overwhelming. After walking on foot for days, aching and exhausted, they finally have a car. With their new mobility, Mickey asks Ben to drive to his girlfriend's house. Ben agrees. When they arrive, the reality is crushing. Mickey discovers that his girlfriend and her entire family are dead. Mickey retreats into her bedroom, overwhelmed by memories of the time he spent with her. He finds photos of her stuck to the mirror, peeling them off to keep as a tragic souvenir. Meanwhile, Ben is all business. He scavenges the house for survival gear. He strikes gold, finding a long-range walkie-talkie, a folding chair, and a jerry can of gasoline. He packs them into the car. Ben inspects the station wagon and realizes that by folding down the rear seats, the back becomes flat enough to sleep in. The car is now a mobile home. Mickey suggests they just stay in the house instead, but Ben firmly refuses. He argues that staying in one place is a death sentence. Zombies could surround the house and trap them. Ben forces Mickey to remember their trauma. They were once trapped in Ben's house for 3 full months. That siege led to the death of Mickey's entire family and forced them to survive by eating pet food until they finally found a miraculous way to escape. Ben insists that constant movement is the only thing keeping them alive. They get back in the car and return to the safety of the woods. Days later, Mickey decides to test the walkie-talkie Ben found. He inserts the batteries, not expecting much. Suddenly, static clears, and he hears a voice. It's a man speaking on a different frequency to a girl named Annie, discussing supplies for a camp. Mickey is stunned. He jumps on the mic, desperate for connection. He tells them he can hear them. The man asks who is speaking. Mickey introduces himself, mentions his friend Ben, and brags that they have a car. He's ecstatic to find other survivors nearby, but the man's response is cold. He ignores Mickey's excitement and tells him strictly not to contact them again. Mickey is baffled. He pleads, saying there is no one else around to help them. He asks for the camp's coordinates, offering their skills in fishing and cooking. The man shuts him down, stating the camp is at capacity, and warns Annie not to speak to Mickey. Mickey is furious. He screams into the radio that he will find them no matter what. Ben, always the realist, accepts the rejection calmly and tells Mickey to let it go. But Mickey refuses. For the next 3 days, he tries to reach Annie, but there is only silence. While Mickey is distracted by his obsession, 2 zombies ambush them. Ben reacts instantly, grabbing a baseball bat and brutally beating them down, screaming at Mickey the entire time, blaming him and his distractions for their near-death experience. The next day, the tension lingers. Mickey is sleeping in the car, while Ben goes down to the lake to bathe. A female zombie wanders out of the woods, drawn to the car. The window is cracked open just a few inches. She reaches her rotting hand inside, groping for Mickey. Mickey wakes up in terror, scrambling to the passenger side. He fumbles for the walkie-talkie, calling for Ben, but gets no answer. Just as the zombie pushes harder, a gunshot rings out. The zombie drops dead. Ben has returned just in time to save him again. They move on and eventually reach Ben's old house. It's abandoned. Mickey begs to stay there, wanting to pretend to live a normal life for just a little while. Ben reluctantly agrees to stay for one night. Before bed, Mickey tries the radio again. This time, Annie answers. She whispers a warning. If her group finds out she's talking to him, they will exile her. She begs him to stop. Outside, Ben is enacting a plan. He finds a zombie tied to a tree in the woods. He cuts it loose, drags it into the house, and shoves it into the room where Mickey is sleeping. He slams the door and locks it from the outside. Ben wants to force Mickey to find his courage. Mickey screams, pounding on the door, begging Ben to open it. Ben leans against the wall, listening. Finally, the screaming stops, replaced by the sounds of a violent struggle. When Ben opens the door, the zombie is dead and Mickey is panting, covered in grime. Mickey attacks Ben in a rage, punching him, but Ben is smiling. Mickey finally defended himself. They continue their journey. On a main road, they spot a sedan parked in the middle of the lane. They stop to investigate. It's empty. Ben grabs the gas can to siphon fuel, but Mickey notices heat coming from the engine. Someone drove this car very recently. Ben calls out, but there is no reply. He checks the fuel tank. It's dry. Suddenly, a man named Jerry emerges holding a knife to Mickey's throat. Ben draws his gun immediately. Jerry offers a deal. Give him the keys to the station wagon and he will let Mickey go. Ben tries to reason with him, offering to team up. Jerry refuses. He reveals he was tortured by a previous group of survivors and trusts no one. He admits he stole this sedan to escape them. Ben agrees to the trade. He tosses his gun away and tells Jerry the keys are in the ignition. Jerry shoves Mickey aside and jumps into the station wagon, but the keys aren't there. Ben lied. Realizing the trick, Jerry bolts from the car, running for the woods. Ben chases him down and shoots him dead. Mickey is horrified, blaming Ben for killing a man who just wanted to escape. Ben reminds him that Jerry tried to steal their only lifeline. While they argue over the body, a truck approaches. Ben aims his gun at it. A woman and a man with a rifle step out. The woman asks if they've seen the driver of the sedan. Ben lies, saying the man tried to rob them so they killed him. She asks if he said anything before dying. Ben becomes suspicious and says no. The woman reveals the car belongs to her group and Jerry stole it. Mickey steps forward, staring at her. He asks if she is Annie. She goes silent. Mickey says he knows her voice. The atmosphere snaps. Annie draws a concealed pistol and shoots Ben in the leg. Her partner aims his rifle at them. Annie looks at Mickey coldly, telling him she warned him not to find her. She snatches Ben's car keys, throws them far out into the overgrown field, and drives away, leaving them stranded and wounded. Mickey frantically searches the tall grass for the keys, but night falls before he can find them. They are forced to sleep in the locked car. They wake up to a nightmare. The car is surrounded by a massive horde of zombies, drawn by the noise. Mickey wants to run, but Ben is crippled by the gunshot wound. Ben tells Mickey to leave him and run. Mickey refuses to abandon his friend. The standoff lasts for days. The zombies claw at the glass. Ben, in pain and angry, blames Mickey for everything. If he hadn't said Annie's name, they wouldn't be here. Mickey suggests hot-wiring the car like in the movies. Ben snaps at him, saying that's just fiction, and if they cut the wrong wire, the car is dead forever. They're stuck. Mickey covers the windows with blankets to hide from the staring dead eyes.
The claustrophobia and heat become unbearable. Ben, delirious and out of patience, orders Mickey to go out through the sunroof and find the keys. He tells him if he doesn't find them, not to come back. Mickey refuses to leave him, but climbs out to search. Time passes. Ben waits in the stifling silence. He starts to panic, calling Mickey's name. He assumes the worst, that the zombies got him. He screams in frustration. Suddenly, Mickey's voice comes from the roof. Ben opens the hatch, relieved. Mickey drops back inside, shaking. Ben asks if he found the keys. Mickey doesn't speak. He slowly raises his hand. There is a fresh, bleeding bite mark. Ben stares in shock. Mickey begins to weep, begging Ben to kill him before the infection takes over. He doesn't want to become one of them. Ben realizes he has no choice. In a moment of utter devastation, he raises his gun and kills his best friend. Ben screams, alone in the car, trapped with the corpse of the only person he had left. Ben covers Mickey's body with a blanket, flashbacks of their journey playing in his mind. His grief turns into cold rage. He picks up the walkie-talkie. He knows Annie is listening. He tells her Mickey is dead and it is her fault. He recounts the story of how he and Mickey escaped the house siege months ago by wrapping themselves in blankets and moving slowly so the zombies couldn't smell or grab them easily. He tells her he is going to use that same method to walk out of this car. He delivers a final promise. If he survives the walk through the horde, he will hunt her down and kill her. Ben wraps himself in the bedding, opens the door, and steps into the sea of zombies. He moves through them, untouched, eyes fixed on the horizon. He walks away from the car, away from Mickey, marching toward revenge as the screen fades to black. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next one.